Why is it so hard for men to talk about their emotions? It's a question that still lingers in many homes, workplaces and even hospitals. At Men's Mental Health Engagement held at Swahilipot Hub Foundation in Mombasa, that very topic took center stage. Mental health professionals, young men and community members gathered to unpack the silence that surrounds male emotions and the long-standing cultural belief that continue to reinforce it.
Through my experience, I always tell you that men are always crying from inside, and it's not easy for a man to open up until he gets the right treatment or the right platform where they can have support. Cultural aspect, the religious aspect really plays a big role where men do not open up their emotions. You see, men seen as a figure or the head of a family, that's one factor that has really suppressed the expression of emotions from men. Traditionally, it's always seen that the man is the one always has to carry the burden of others. That's where it becomes quite a challenge for a man to come out and say that I'm hurt inside.
According to clinical psychologist Said Mohammed, the struggle begins long before adulthood. He added that these early lessons often turn into long-term emotional habits that damage both mental and physical health.
Eric Erickson highly pointed out that a lot of our behaviors right now for men are being determined by their childhood. So most of the men who have a tendency of keeping things from inside, they did not have an initiation stage taken so well, and they got into a crisis of low self-esteem. They go into a crisis of guilt and shame. So now that's a crisis that the individual carries on to the other stage, comes on to the other stage, until when you're in adulthood, there's a cross-cutting of crisis that a person don't have the confidence, don't have the self-will of expressing himself how he feels to others. And it's all because this all is being determined with our early childhood. And my encouragement is, as parents right now, when we are having parental skills, let's be very careful when we are growing up with the kids, because you have a lot of stages. We have the first stage of Erickson, we have the second stage. Let's participate in initiation. Let's give this young generation coming out confidence. Let's make them feel that they can express themselves. Let's give the industrious part of it. When we are growing up, self-identification is very important.
According to Mutua, silence for many men is deeply rooted in fear of being misunderstood or appearing weak.
Nasema labda ni hiyo manhood. I'll say labda ni hiyo manhood. Hataki kuonyesha weakness. So mostly atatend kujiwekea ndo asuluhishe. Sasa labda like us men tunaweza handle. Naweza kama niko na shida niongeleshe rafiki yangu mwanaume anaweza relate. But sasa nikifikiria ni approach a lady nimwambie shida zangu na labda yeye sijui hata shida zake, naweza overwhelm pia yeye.
The forum also heard from women who acknowledge that they too play a role in how men express or suppress their emotions.
Azima, like you imagine, put them as your shoe. If it was me, ningefanya, but not all will understand the men. They don't like therapy. For real, ukiambia tuna therapy, wako like, hiyo si mambo yangu.
Experts at the event recommended early emotional education, not just in schools, but in homes. They called for safe spaces where men can speak freely without fear of judgment. It was concluded by saying men don't need to be fixed, they need to be heard.
An event like this we're having right now, this is the right kind of event that we need. Advocacy event, where we come out and say that men do matter. Because a lot of men need just an ear to someone to listen to them. They don't need much.
The message was clear. It's time to break the silence. Healing begins when men feel safe enough to speak without fear and without shame. Men expressed a growing desire to be part of such forums, to share, to listen and support one another through honest conversation. There was a collective call to normalize emotional expression among men, and a powerful reminder: opening up is not a sign of weakness, but a bold step towards healing, freedom and inner strength.
Men should come out, because when I say that, I am as a man, I'm ready to share in a different platform, to share how I've been hurting inside, how I could not have been crying before, but now I'm ready to open my tears and share my wounds that I'm healing, so that other men get hope from what I am going through and how I'm healing. So it's all about coming out, and we have support groups. We have support groups where men we meet. Actually, I go to a support group where I meet with other men, and we discuss about our traumas, we discuss about our heart, and we heal together. And it has really helped me out to share that. But for now, in another platform, I can share a story about what I've gone through emotionally and how much I've healed.
Reporting for Swahilipot FM, I'm Jeanette Karuku.
Swahili inatuleta pamoja ndani ya Swahilipot FM 91.7. Marhaba.